Hello, my most amazing artists. We are going to start a printmaking project today. What printmaking is taking something and putting ink or paint on it and then pressing it to the paper many times to make a print. You could do that with your hand print where you put something on here and then press it down. We are going to be using these little squares today. These are just 2x2 squares. We're going to be putting in a design. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to get started pretty quickly so that you guys will have lots of time to experiment with this today. We are not turning this into a big project today. This is just for practice and you will like doing it. Okay, so the very first thing is you are going to get a little square of styrofoam like this. When you get your square of styrofoam, one side is shinier than the other side. You really want to work on the shiny side. So I'm going to take my pencil. Everybody's going to do this first step. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Everybody's going to do this first step. We're going to take it and we are going to draw a straight line from one edge to the other. So you can see I have a straight line going from corner to corner. So it splits it into two triangles. Don't worry about the pencil being too sharp. You actually don't want the pencil super sharp or it will cut through the styrofoam. It's just styrofoam, it's not super strong. Now on each side of your line down the center, you are going to make a design. You don't want 800 little lines. You want a nice big design because we are going to be applying color to this. So on this side, I'm going to do one side with more straight lines and one side with curved lines. So let's see here. On this one, I'm going to do my curved line side first, and you don't have to do curved and straight. It's up to you. So here is my curve side, okay? And then on this side, I think I'm going to do a straight line pattern. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to make a straight line, and then maybe a straight line from the middle to the other edge. Like I said, not 800 little lines, just something small that I'm going to be able to work with. So I have two different sides. Now here's where it starts to get cool. You are going to use markers, two different color markers, any colors you want. I have pulled out blue and orange. I like blue and orange. And then you're going to pull out one neutral color as well. If you look by the door, I have neutral colors over there. They're in the bottom right-hand corner. They are black, brown, and gray. White is also a neutral color, but it's not up there. So black, brown, or gray along with your two colors. So here are my three colors. Now, when we make this, I forgot to tell you one thing. I'm gonna have a Sharpie at your table. You see the line down the middle of it? On the back side. So I'm going to take it and flip it over to the back, and I can see my straight line right here down the middle. I'm going to draw an arrow to one of the corners. So I have this corner right here as my middle. You can really choose either of these corners. So here's my straight line. You can do this side of it or this side of it, but only one. So you're going to put a little arrow with Sharpie on the back. This is going to tell me how to lay down my printing plate. Your printing plate will get better the more you do it. So on my printing plate, I am going to use the side of the marker, not the tip, but the side to put down ink. You are going to have to work fairly quickly, because if you sit and talk, this will dry out and then you will not have your ink. It takes printing a couple times before this really works out super duper awesome. So don't panic if your first one doesn't work. You're gonna have a sheet of paper where you can practice. Notice I'm not pressing into the styrofoam. I'm laying down my marker and then getting the ink onto it, but I'm not pressing into the styrofoam. Now, this is where you have to pay attention. your arrows are either going to point all in or all out. Here's what I mean. Into the middle or out from the middle. I'm going to have this pointing into the middle right here. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to give it a little bit of a back rub. Make sure I've got all the corners. Now it may not work real well because this is my first one, remember. And there is my print. You can see that some of the color is left on here, so you will remember what color went where. And this actually turned out pretty well. Your hands are gonna get dirty, totally okay, don't panic. You're gonna do this again. This time, we are going to turn our printing plate. See, I'm not putting marks into the styrofoam. I'm just coloring on top of the styrofoam to put down the color. If you come across a marker that does not work, please throw it away. Then my orange, so I have my two colors and my neutral color. And you're gonna have a piece of paper at your table that's a practice paper like this one, where you'll color on it so that you don't get color on your paper like I am here. Okay, so this time I have the arrow pointing to the middle. I'm gonna do it, line it right up to the one that I just did. Lay it down again, give it a back rub, make sure I've got all the corners, and there's how it's gonna come out. Now when I do that again, it's gonna come out like this, because there's my arrow pointing to the middle. And then once again, my arrow pointing to the middle, lay it down. You are going to have super duper designs. But wait, then once you've got all four of these so they point towards the middle, I want you to do 4 more so that the arrows point to the outside. I'm going to speed up the video so that I can show you what's going to happen when you flip the arrows to the outside. All right, here we go. Okay, there are my 2 different designs. It is the same printing plate, but a different design in each one depending on which way this arrow is pointing. On this one, the arrow was pointing to the middle. On this one, the arrow was pointing to the outside. So it makes 2 completely different designs. After you get done with this today, see if you can come up with another design by turning this somehow and making your own pattern. At your table, there is a piece of paper where you can color on. Leave it there for the next class because they will also color on it. Today when we go, you will take your little printing plate with you along with your practice ones. I didn't show you guys these. These are other ones that I did with this printing plate. Once again, pointing inside and outside. So these are 2 different ones. This was pointing in, this was pointing out. It is a super fun little project. You're going to enjoy it. Remember, you don't want to press super hard and cut through your styrofoam. Pick 3 total colors, 2 colors that you like, and 1 that's a neutral, either black, brown, or gray. Here we go, my friends. Styrofoam and your paper to print on are in the drive-through. Pick up 1 of each. Here we go.